So we're not just gonna recap another MrBeast video. Nope. Today we're taking it apart, like piece by piece, to really get at the formula. You know, the secret recipe that makes his stuff a guaranteed viral machine. Every single time.
It all starts right here, $250,000. I mean, think about that. That's life-changing money. And by slopping that number right on the screen in the first few seconds, boom, that's the hook. It grabs you, it tells you the stakes are insanely high, and you're not going anywhere. And that really brings us to the big question, right? How in the world do you take a single button, literally just a button, and turn it into a viral masterpiece? What's the secret sauce? How does he do it? So here's how we're going to break this down. First up, we'll talk about that $1 million button, the hook. Then, we'll get into the absolute chaos of the challenge gauntlet. After that, we'll dive into the emotional roller coaster these contestants are on. Then we'll look at MrBeast's grand design as the producer. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the anatomy of a viral hit. Okay, let's kick things off with part one, the $1 million button. You gotta understand, this is the foundation for everything. It's that perfect, irresistible hook.
Okay, the genius of this is how simple it is. Seriously, press the button, you either win a ton of money for a fan, or you get a challenge. That's it. There's no complicated rule book, nothing you need to figure out. Anyone on the planet gets it instantly. And that right there, that's what gives it that massive universal appeal.
But here's the kicker. This one little rule is what drives the whole thing. Until they complete their challenge, they cannot press the button again. See? That stops anyone from just mashing the button over and over. It forces them to act. It creates all the forward momentum and makes sure the video never, ever gets boring. You have to dive into the madness to get another shot at the money. So that simple rule leads to all the crazy challenges, right? Which brings us perfectly into part two, the challenge gauntlet. Look, if the button is the hook, then these challenges, they're the engine. They're what sends this video flying forward at 1,000 miles an hour. But here's the thing you have to get. These challenges are not random. Not at all. They're actually super smart. They're all different for a reason. You've got your in-game skill stuff like mining for diamonds, which builds up the tension. Then you have the real-life physical challenges, like mowing a lawn, which is just hilarious and absurd. And then you get the totally bizarre stuff, like moving a pool one bucket at a time, creating these moments you just can't forget. And the pace, it is just relentless. I mean, 1 second a guy's trying to catch a chicken, the next he's doing a puzzle, then shooting free throws, then digging through hundreds of chests for one key. It's this rapid-fire switching that makes it impossible to get bored or to even guess what's going to happen next. You literally can't look away. But honestly, all that action, all that chaos, it wouldn't mean a thing if there wasn't a human story at the center of it all. And that's our third section, the emotional roller coaster. This is the real heart of the video, folks.
And it usually starts with something like this. A contestant gets a challenge and they're like, oh, I can do that. You see that confidence, right? We've all felt that. We connect with it. We're rooting for them, thinking, yeah, you got this.
And then, bam, just moments later, all that confidence can just disappear. The struggle gets real, the task seems impossible, and you hear, I don't believe in me anymore. That huge swing from I got this to total despair, that's powerful storytelling. It's so relatable. And this is what really hooks you. These people aren't just characters in a game. They're going through some real lows. You hear them saying stuff like, I'm feeling so sad right now, getting depression, sadness, hungry. It takes this giant, crazy spectacle and grounds it in something completely real and human. And then you get the payoff, that moment of pure joy. I did it, guys, I did it. It's that feeling of victory after the struggle. By taking us on that whole ride, the highs, the lows, and then the big win, we get totally invested. We actually care what happens to these people. So, who's the puppet master behind this whole emotional roller coaster? Well, that brings us to section 4, the Beast's grand design. This is where we stop looking at MrBeast as just a host and start seeing him as the architect of the whole show. Okay, this is super important. You have to see that there are two games happening at the same time. You've got the contestants game. Their goal is to win the money. Simple. But then there's the producer's game, MrBeast's game. His goal? Keep you watching. Every single thing that happens is designed to create content and maximize viewer retention. And listen to this quote from the man himself. It says everything. We've done over a dozen challenges. I've got some content. See? He's not just thinking about who wins or loses. He's thinking about the final product, the video, The challenges are just the ingredients. Once he has enough content, he knows the video is going to be good. It's such a cool look into how a master producer thinks.
And he's not just producing, he's a master showman. He's always breaking that fourth wall. He's reminding the players what's at stake, asking them what they do with the money, which of course gets us thinking about it. And then, right in the middle of all the chaos, he's plugging merch and telling you to subscribe. He's playing a game and running a media empire all at once.
All right, it's time to put all the pieces together. Our final section, Anatomy of a Viral Hit. Let's lay out the complete blueprint we've just uncovered.
So, here it is, the MrBeast formula. Step 1, a dead simple premise with huge stakes. Step 2, drive it forward with a relentless chaotic pace. Step 3, anchor all that chaos in a real human emotional core. Step 4, have a master orchestrator pulling all the strings. And Step 5, the one that ties it all together, integrate the business. Weave in those promotions and calls to action seamlessly. That right there is the machine that pumps out viral hits.
And it's wild because even the people in the video can feel it. Listen to this quote from a contestant. "This is a lab experiment for sure, right?" It's so perfect. It just shows how carefully designed this whole thing is. They get it. They're not just playing a game. They're part of a massive, perfectly controlled entertainment experiment.
And really, that's the big question we're left with, isn't it? Is this just fun entertainment, or are we watching something else? Maybe the world's most elaborate human experiment, perfectly engineered for clicks and views. It definitely gives you something to think about.